What's up, guys? It's Kimber from Moksha Yoga and Wellness, back to talk to you about the 3 doshas of Ayurveda. So if you missed the last video on Vata dosha, go check that one out. But before we jump into Pitta, I just wanted to go over again what the doshas actually are, so you can help understand which one shows up the most in your body. So we call the doshas the 3 major energy types in Ayurveda, and all of us have all 3 of them, just in varying amounts. And there's no one that's more desirable or less desirable than another. So you can imagine it like 3 buckets. So everyone is born with some Vata, some Pitta, and some Kapha. And how full those buckets are when you are born is totally dependent on who you are. So everyone will have a little bit different levels for each one. So whichever bucket is the most full for you is the one that you're going to want to spend the most time and energy trying to balance. Ayurveda teaches us to balance with the opposite, and that like increases like. So if you already have a lot of Pitta, for example, and you're doing more Pitta type things, it's just going to make your Pitta bucket overflow and you'll go out of balance. Whereas if you can balance with the opposite, Pitta pacifying things, that will lower that Pitta bucket level till you're not overflowing anymore. So all of us have all 3 buckets. All of us have different amounts in our buckets. None is better, none is worse. So we're going to focus on the Pitta bucket in this video, so you can see if this resonates with you and sounds like something you identify with, then maybe your Pitta bucket is the most full. So physically, a Pitta person, they're kind of your middleweights. They're not your tall string beans like your Vatas, and they're not your just naturally big-boned people like your Kaphas. They're kind of right in the middle. They sometimes can have red hair, they sometimes can have freckles. Their hair is generally towards the straighter side as well, where a Vata person may have really, really curly, kinky, dark hair. Pitta people can be prone to redness in their skin. If they exercise, they may get really, really flushed. May be prone to acne as well. The skin is a place that Pitta shows up. So overall, Pitta you can view as your middleweights. And mentally, Pitta people are super driven, goal-oriented. Pitta is associated with the elements of fire and water, but predominantly fire. So you can imagine a fiery person just has a will to transform, to get things done, to make things happen. So Pitta folks can sometimes make really good leaders or really good project managers, just hitting those deadlines, making stuff happen. So Pitta can have a lot of benefits in that way, that this person can be really great at reaching their goals and reaching their dreams. They have the physicality that it's easy for them to gain muscle. So all those are great benefits to Pitta. The downside, if your Pitta bucket is overflowing and you go out of balance, what would happen if you had too much fire? So in your body, that looks like acidity, so that can be acid reflux, that can be acne, rashes, can also be diarrhea. I keep picking words and I'm not very good at spelling. Anything where you have too much heat, too much acid, too much bile, think about what that would do to your body. Inflammation in general is how we can categorize excess Pitta. So that can be inflammation in your joints, inflammation in your GI tract, inflammation of your skin, whatever it may be. And then excess Pitta in the mind, what happens if you have too much fire in your mind? That ability to move things through and reach goals can become judgment or criticism. You kind of burn up everything around you in pursuit of whatever that you want. So Pitta in moderation, in balance, is great for getting things done, for transformation, for fire. Too much, you're just gonna potentially be harming your relationships or not even be caring about anything else but this single-minded focus. Anger, like I said, judgment, criticism, anything like that. Quick temper can be excess of that fire element in Pitta. And so if we have too much Pitta, which could be right now in summertime, because Pitta, that heat, is predominant in summer, right? So if we want to balance with the opposite, if we have too much heat, what do we want to do to balance? We want to think cool, calm, and light. That's our mantra if we're looking to balance Pitta. So in our foods, we're looking at cooling foods like cucumber, cilantro, mint, some summer squashes, lots and lots of greens. Sorry Pitta people, but alcohol and caffeine are just going to be super warming and aggravating for you. If you're having a Pitta overload, probably not your best choice. Calming, so Pitta people generally are the really motivated types and love to work out and push it really hard. But a Pitta person could actually be balanced by some really calm. So this could be like yin style yoga, swimming. Cool water in general, whether that's in a river or a lake, is going to be really, really great to pacify that Pitta. Because think cool water being the opposite of fire. And this also just applies to the mindset, maybe doing some meditation, just to chill your mind out a little bit, not taking things so seriously. Pittas could potentially be workaholics, so saying you're not going to work in the evenings, especially avoiding the midday sun, maybe doing your exercise outside in the morning or the evening. Just anything that's going to heat you up too much, you're trying to avoid and do the opposite. So Pitta in the summertime is when it's highest. This also affects our blood. So donating blood, believe it or not, is a really great way to pacify Pitta as well, because it'll pull the excess heat out of your bloodstream. So that's some real basics on the Pitta Dosha, which is one of our 3 buckets. So stay tuned and we'll do another video on the Kapha Dosha, the last one. And if this is interesting and you want to learn more about your constitution and about how to figure out how full your buckets are, then check out our full introduction to Ayurveda workshop, which is a full 2 hours where we take the time to really dive into this. You take a dosha test and can figure out what your personal percentages are.